Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we'll be going through the Kangaroos versus Sydney round 7 AFLW game, in which it was a pretty tight contest for the first sort of 15 minutes of this game. I think it was about 18 all after about 15 minutes. But North Melbourne just broke the back of Sydney in the final 2 minutes of the first quarter, kicked 2 goals there. Second quarter was very much a dogfight. I believe it was something maybe 38-18 at halftime, something like that. And then in the second half, North Melbourne finally were able to start converting their chances and really didn't allow Sydney to convert a lot of their mass inside 50s that they had. I'm pretty sure the inside 50s, Sydney might have even won, but North Melbourne were just too classy on the break and were able to win this one by 60 points. Let me just bring up the inside 50s were, 1 second, 31-32 Sydney's way. And in the end, yeah, it was 38-18 at halftime. But then in the second half, it was 8 goals, 1 to 9 points. So that was just showing the difference. And Sydney even kicked the last goal of the game to bring it back a little bit. But anyway, let's just jump into this video here. As you see, Jazz Gardner, she even got a tag from Tanya Kennedy. And Tanya Kennedy did a world of good. 12 tackles. She didn't allow Jazz Gardner to do much, but Jazz Gardner had 24 touches and 9 tackles as well as 3 goals. So 3 goals probably profit this score up a little bit more, prop it up a little bit more than it probably should have been. But in the end, you have to kick the goals to be there, and she did. So she got 131. It was probably, which just shows she can probably still score about 115, 120 through a tag, which is still just phenomenal. And that's probably one of the reasons why people will look at her next year to fill in the hole at M1, that maybe people go against Marinoff for her, given that she's a little bit down on her last year's stats. If we look at it, and it's mostly just down to really just having a couple of poor, not really having that top end sort of scoring potential that she had last year. She's still got a low of 81 compared to 86 last year, but just looking at this, you can just see it a little bit here, but it's actually kind of hard to show it here. I guess you see it mostly here, 120, 150. You can see the, where is it? If I go like that, you'll see it there. That's last year's, all her games last year, 120, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games above 130. And then you compare that to this year, and you'll see only 1, 2, 3 games above 130, but they're only 131s or 130. So if you go 1 plus 132s, she'll have 5 last year, whereas she has 0 this year. And that's probably the big difference, is just those top end scoring. And that mostly, if you actually look at it, comes down to her, I think it's actually in the tackles that she's dropping a little bit in. I think from just looking at this as well as she's still consistently scoring. So it's kind of hard to actually pick up where the goals are the same, free kicks are basically the same, tackles are basically the same. It's the marking. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. The marking and the disposals that are actually down, if you look at it, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to spot at 5 and 4, whereas she had a 5, 4, 7 here. Yeah, so that's what it is. It's the marking that's down a little bit for her this year. And that's the reason why she's down a little bit. But I think she's one that can bounce back, or at least hold form around this sort of 110, 120 region. So I think she's one that you can look at for value next year. Riddell, 97, she's been brilliant as well. She got 30 touches through a tag of Bolas and Cooper, I believe, which Cooper I thought showed really good promise in that midfield, which really did do well, especially because she has a strong tackle base, and we've been talking about this quite a lot, and she had 9 tackles in there. She looked good in that Swans midfield. If I go to the CBAs for Sydney, I thought she definitely looked good in that. If we look at here, you'll see 71%, Hayley Bolas as well, 43%, and you see here, Sophia Hurley back into the midfield, which was good. Tanya Kennedy, 100%, she had the Gardner tag the whole time, and then you had the split rucks of Davies and Hamilton, and then a little bit for Cynthia Hamilton in the last quarter, which I was surprised there wasn't. I was surprised they didn't swap Bolas and also Cynthia Hamilton over again. But when you think about it, you also got to factor in that they had to tag Riddell, or that was the plan, to tag Riddell. So they had Bolas and Cooper in there to do so. Then we move down, O'Loughlin, 83. She just kicked 3 goals, and that's how she got her points. Don't think she'll do that regularly, so I don't think she's one that I necessarily would target. But then again, she's putting up decent points regularly, so you could try and target her, but she's averaging 69 and what's her last? But you see the last couple games, the last 3 before that, she had only kicked 1 goal in the last 3 and was averaging about 57. So that's the reason why I'd probably not go O'Loughlin. King 82. She's a strong tackler, but just doesn't get the other parts of her game to really get those scores up exactly. Only 22 touches and not really kick base, which really does generate more points. Edie, Rennie, King, Tripodi as well, 62. She's fine in that forward line, and she's almost more valuable than O'Loughlin just because she's got that midfield role, and then in absolute downpour, she's going to score like 85 plus. She's fine. Britton, Gatt, Smith, Randall, you can pretty much just go straight down through the rest of these girls that have not much fancy relevance anymore. Then we move over to Sydney and Hurley 118. She is one that I am looking at for next year and going, I hope she doesn't score too much, because I should actually bring up the Gardner stats again. If you will allow, okay, let's just, for some reason I can't click off the ad here. 1 second. Let this load for you guys. And you see here 88, last year 73. When she plays on ball, she scores points. It's as simple as that. You can see here when she has 50%, actually, that's a 53 for a 59. But you can see when she actually gets time on ball, she generally scores pretty well. I'm one that's definitely looking at her going, I think she can put it up. She's got a really strong tackle base. She's up at 7.5 tackles, which is the exact same as she was doing last year, but she's added six kicks to her armory, and that's basically the whole difference there. And so I'm really looking at Sophia Hurley going, I think she can be one that really does pop next year. But I just don't hope she doesn't score too many more points quickly, because if she's priced at mid-90s, I don't think there'll be much room for improvement there. But if she was priced like mid-80s with what she's put up the last 3 weeks of 119 divided by 319 divided by 3 is about 106. So she's scored 106 the last 3 weeks, which is plus 18 on her current average. Hamilton 78, Tarrant 77, Heads 76. She was just tackling everything. If we go to live scoring here and we go to Sydney versus Gold Coast, or is this live scoring already? That's already caught up for tomorrow's game, so can't use live scoring anymore. But anyway, it would have shown that Heads was tackling everything. She had like 3 tackles in a row in the last quarter. I'm pretty sure she might have. Where's her for the last quarter? She scored 16 points in the last quarter, all tackles. Would have liked to have seen a couple more disposals for her, but I think next year you'll actually see her transition back into the back line, and it will actually really help out her scoring, because she'll get more disposals and that'll help her out. She's just relying heavily on tackles at the moment. Kennedy 72, we talked about her in the tagging role. She's all right, but she's not. She's a mid only, I'm pretty sure, in AFLW fantasy, which kind of detracts from any usefulness. Bullas, Hamilton 69, a forward that's playing slightly on ball. I just don't like the mix as much. Cooper 59, she'll be interesting next year, because I'm pretty sure she'll be priced around that probably 35 or so, I would think, is what she's probably averaging, give or take. Let's see if this will load for me anytime soon. 40.7 at the moment. It's probably a little bit high, to be honest with you. But we'll have to just see what happens with her. Given that she's had more of a midfield, this doesn't really show it, but definitely more of a midfield role in the last couple of weeks, and she's shown that she can do it. I'm intrigued to see what happens there. But when she gets time on ground, she generally actually scores. So I don't think she'll be value at 40 odd, because that would be like 610k or something like that. 500k or so. And I don't think you can pick a play like Holly Cooper to break out that dramatically with the girls coming back from injury. But she's still one that I'd monitor in case she drops a couple of stinkers to end the year. But I have high hopes for her. Lucy McAvoy 57, just not going well. Simple as that. Giselle Davies has the ruck role, and she's going to average about 50, but that's not fancy relevant, I don't think. Montana Ham was put on ice basically in the last quarter. She just needs to be put on ice for the rest of the season, to be honest with you. She's basically got the same injury as Ali Moffat does, I'm pretty sure, like hot spots in her foot. So, I I just think they need to better. It showcased the weakness that the Swans have currently with no key position forward, but they just need to put her on ice for the year. Starring Collier, Privatelli, Paris McCarthy. This is why you don't pick girls like Paris McCarthy in small forwards, because she scored 65 last week and now has scored a 28. Sort of shows the difference there. Barudson, Lachlan, O'Sullivan, Sergeant Wilson, Alice Mitchell, and then Bella Smith. So that pretty much is the video there going through the North versus Sydney game, in which North ran over the top. I did think I had this game North by 58 in my predictions, and they won by 60, and so pretty accurate there. But anyway, so it was what it was expected. But I think with what happened in the game, you probably post-game would have wanted the Swans to probably lose this by about 5 or 6 goals, given what they had. But anyway, it is what it is. North are the best side this year. They're going to belt more teams, and it is what it is. So if you did enjoy that video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I will see you guys in the next game recap. Bye, guys.